This is a shame spiral. It's like a panic attack. It's a shame attack. People get into it when they're trying to recover. It's about who we are, and guilt's about what we've done or not done. Some people begin to see themselves as this horrible piece of crap, and they're not good enough. They're bad. They're wrong. They're guilty. I don't even deserve to ask for what I need. And then they start getting very, very sad and unhealthy. I almost look at shame like a toxic wasteland that we just spiral in. Do y'all remember that old book, Healing the Shame That Binds Us? Really, really good book. But the good way to work with shame is get into that old core trauma, heal it, and then see yourself from the loving, compassionate eyes of the higher, super conscious, soulful self. It's very powerful. Shame also involves a fear of punishment of who we are. I deserve this. I don't deserve any better. I am crap, Shame keeps us from exposing ourselves. We want to assert ourselves. We won't show those vulnerable sides. And it keeps us from getting our needs met. That real needs chart, we can't get those needs met. We're stuck in shame. So how would that fuel codependency? What are your thoughts? How would shame fuel codependency? Oh, yeah, the website for inner counselor, soulbasedpractice.com. And I have a retreat coming up at the end of September. If you're interested, I'd love to have you. Session with a client. Shame keeps us down. Yes. We call it a downdraft in my training. Keeps us in a downdraft instead of an updraft, an aliveness. Others are more deserving. Right. Client might not feel like they're worthy. Absolutely. We got to help them feel good enough, worthy enough, loving enough, live up to others' expectations. Yes. Validated, loss of connection, depression, meeting others' needs, having others. Yes. They're trying to meet everybody else's needs, right? Yeah. There's self-neglect. My teacher used to say self-neglect is the number one reason for depression. Super and super important. So how do we get people lined up with their wiser self so they feel good enough? They have the energy to actually do the things they know are self-loving. We got to do integration work. Shame is feeling broken. Yes. No, that you lose your interconnectedness. Very good. That's right. And we're all intrinsically precious and we're connected to everything. I totally agree with you, Cheryl. And so we lose that wholeness and we feel disconnected and alone and afraid. Yeah. And unworthy. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Susan. Or Suzanne. Thank you. Never good enough. Right. Personalize others' judgment. Beautiful. Beautiful. You guys are on it. All right. Shame sounds like this. I'm not enough, unwanted, unloved, unsafe, unprotected, worthless. And that part runs the show and it fuels the codependency. And it's hard to have a healthy relationship. Even if someone tells you, I love you, you're the best thing in the world, you're not going to buy it if you have the shame running the show. You're not going to buy it. What about fear? Forget everything and run, face everything and rise. The choice is yours. We got to face our fear. How it fuels codependency. We've got to not allow fear to take advantage of us. But in order to do that, we have to heal the inner child that's so scared and move into our courageous, alive, empowered adult self and our nurturing parent self. This is the wheel of anxiety and panic. It is how we get on the wheel of anxiety. And I don't expect you to learn this today, but I wanted to just give you an overview. When a traumatic event happens, too much, too soon, too fast, or we have overwhelm and stress that build up over time. It could be small t stressors, and they break our system down, and we get stuck in fear patterns. And so we get in system overload, where we get in overthinking. That's a fear response. We get, my training is called transpersonal psychology or spiritual psychology, and that actually means beyond the mind. We want to get beyond the thinking. And so we can feel and sense and experience a release as opposed to just trying to think our way out of a paper bag, right? We sometimes can't think our way out of these patterns. So we get into overthinking, panic, despair, tightness in the body. I can't handle this. What if? With stage 2, we struggle with sleep and destructive thinking, destructive patterns. We grab onto relationships. We grab onto other people. It's a very, very scary time. increased reactivity. We numb with food and drink and people. And then the disease continues. We may get high blood pressure, hopeless, trapped, negative. We get scared of the fear itself, anger towards others. We have a breakdown. And then the danger zone, we may end up in the ER. I ended up in the ER several times with panic attacks, substance dependency, stress-induced problems, on and on and on and on. So we want to intervene and stop this panic, fear cycle and heal it. We want to rewire it so that the amygdala can calm down and we can move into healing and joy. So we have access to joy and dreaming again. So let's see what that looks like. Honor and identify the fear symptoms. Begin anxiety and panic relief strategies. The deep breathing. Did you know if you're deep breathing, you can't have a panic attack? You're deep breathing correctly. Magnesium, I always recommend magnesium for my clients. The healthy kind of magnesium, not like the really hard pill. But like there's lots of things that can stop panic. And then this inner child healing, and then good strategies. Essential oils are good. Like if you can breathe in an aroma that sends a message to the brain, wow, wait, I am safe. I'm in a field of flowers. Wait, it confuses the brain. It stops that amygdala from freaking out, right? Good self-talk, positive self-talk. I'm okay. Fear can't hurt me. I am more than my circumstances. I'm more than my fear. And then training the system. I've been meditating daily for 20 years, you guys, because I had to. I had to train my body to move out of fear. Calm and soothe. I can handle it. I know how to calm myself. I have choices. I always tell my clients, codependency, I don't feel like I have choices. Healing, I have choices now. When we know we're in the choice point, we're in our empowered self. When we don't feel like we have choices, we're in our drama triangle, victim, trauma self. So moving into choices, focus on what feels good to the body. Sometimes we can trick our body into calming down by a warm bath. Exercise reduces adrenaline in the system. That calms. The other day when I was on the phone with my daughter, when this active shooter was on the campus, I was freaking out. And I was trying to stay calm, but my heart was racing. And after they finally caught him and the situation was resolved, I had to go on a long walk to get that adrenaline down out of my body. I walked for 3 miles. I did my deep breathing and I felt better. I got in some warm water later that night and I was able to calm and soothe that excess adrenaline in my system. Discover and meet your real needs. Remember the real needs thing that we talked about to feel more whole, and rest and reconnect. This is the cycle of healing and joy. Very, very important. And I do a whole training on this. I think I have one through eCare as well, of healing anxiety and this whole cycle. Very, very powerful.